No, it's not cold, at least not yet, but I'm wearing this hat because my hair got wet. If you watch my last video, you know why I'm recording this just after that video. Anyway, today is a very sad day. Not because of my hair, but I just found out that the Sony A7Rii has been discontinued. This is a very hard word to pronounce for me, but anyway, they are not making it anymore, and that is very sad because it's my favorite camera. It's been 6 years in the market, I believe, so I guess it was about time. I have a fly in my nose. One sec. Here. I'm afraid the fly is still alive. It's something that we're gonna have to live with for the rest of this video. My apologies about that. But anyway, I was talking about the A7Rii. I got my copy just last year when it was on sale, and I think it was the best deal in photography back then for the camera that you get. It's an amazing camera that I use every single day. That didn't used to be the case not too long ago. I used to bring with me on my daily walks a camera like this one, a compact camera. It was an Rx100 Mark 7. It's not this one. I don't have that one with me anymore because I dropped it in the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, on the Oregon coast a few months ago. That was also a very, very sad day because I loved that camera. Not only the image quality was very good, but also the focal length, the range from 24 to 200 millimeters in full frame equivalent. That's amazing that you can fit that in your pocket. And yeah, I miss that camera quite a lot, but less so now that I have this convo that I bring with me on my daily walks here in Spain. This is the Sony A7Rii with the, hopefully you can see, that is the Tamron 28 to 200 millimeters. So it's pretty similar to what I used to have on the Rx100 Mark 7. Obviously, this is much bigger, much bulkier, much heavier than the compact camera. I can't fit this in my pocket, but it also offers things that the compact camera couldn't, like a 2.8 aperture on the wide angle side of things. Well, the Rx100 Mark 7 was a 2.82, but it was a 1-inch sensor. This is a full frame sensor. Anyway, this camera performs much, much better in low light. So I'm able to create very good images in low light, whereas the Rx100 Mark 7 would fall apart when the sun went down or in the early hours of the morning. So this is what I use on my daily walks here in Spain or back in the US. I also have this wrist strap, so it makes the whole thing a little bit safer. I am someone who needs this kind of stuff to make my photography trips and walks a little bit safer because I tend to break my camera gear very often. But yeah. This has helped quite a little bit in the past. Now, the thing is, we are back in Spain now, and as you can see from my latest videos, it's been very foggy here lately. Not every other day, but very, very often. And when those conditions happen, well, I want to get out with a little bit more than just a super zoom lens, just in case I run into a situation where I need a more specific lens. Well, I don't want to walk around town with my big camera, 40-liter or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but my Pro Tactic, huge. Let me show you. This is what I mean. I don't really want to bring that big camera bag with me around town. Because it's not convenient, it's very annoying, it's very heavy, and I get a lot of attention that I don't necessarily want. So I have this other bag. This is a slim bag from Peak Design. And by the way, this is not a sponsored video, and I'm not affiliated with any of the brands that I'll be mentioning in this video in any way. I have never been, but I really like this bag. I like the design. It's very simple, and it's just all black. It doesn't even have any well, it has the logo here, but it's not very flashy. It doesn't stand out. As you can see, I don't really like logos. I have tape on my cameras because, you know, they make me feel kind of like a billboard. so I don't like logos. And yeah, I like this design. It's waterproof. I got caught in the rain before. I was using this bag, and the camera gear inside was totally fine, so it works. Other than that, it's just a bag with a couple of pockets, and I use it to bring like an extra lens or extra gear that I might need on those very pretty beautiful foggy days. So let me show you. Well, I also have this little thingy just in case I change lenses and some dust gets in the sensor. But my lens of choice to complement the Tamron super zoom lens is this Rockinon Samyang 85mm 1.4. It goes very well with this one because this one, as you go longer on the focal range, well, the aperture starts to close down a little bit, down to 5.6 at 200mm. So having not a telephoto but a long lens like an 85 at 1.4 can be very useful to create to have some more separation between your subject and the background. And also it's pretty good to shoot at night, of course, at 1.4, and combined with this sensor, it is an amazing combination. But as you can see, I have an ND filter here that lives almost permanently on this lens, because without this ND filter, I wouldn't be able to shoot at 1.4 during the day. Another thing that I have here that might surprise you, or not if you've seen my latest videos, is this little guy right here. This is the Dji Mini 2. I've had plenty of drones in the past, the Phantom, the Mavic Pro, the Mini 1, the first version of this one, and now the Mini 2. I never got much use of them, and I ended up selling all of them after just a few months. But I think this one is going to be different. Maybe I might sell it in a few months as well. But no, the other ones were pretty big and inconvenient to use, especially that Phantom. I can't believe I used to bring that huge thing on hikes with me, along with the Bronica. I was a little bit crazy back then. The Mini 1, that was pretty much the same size as this one, well, was very unstable in the air. It fell on me a couple times, and it didn't shoot 4K, it didn't shoot RAW. This one fixes all of that. It's very stable in the air. I'm very confident that this thing is not going to fall. It shoots 4K and it shoots RAW. So yeah, I've been trying to, I think the footage looks amazing, and I've been trying to make some, to do some drone photography from a more black and white artsy fine art perspective. I think there is a lot to be done there, but we'll see. One thing I must say about this little guy is that even though it's very, very little, as you can see, and you can fit it in your bag, you must bring along the controller, which is bigger than the drone itself. So the real size, when it comes to the amount of room that you need in your bag, is not just the drone, it's the drone plus the controller. Still a pretty small package for what it offers. I just wish, I'm not sure if you can do it, maybe you can do it, but I just wish you could fly the drone with just your phone and the app using Wi-Fi. Obviously the range would be much smaller, but still it would be very useful to have there for photoing a pitch, you know. As I said, this is my base setup, but I have a few variations on top of this one depending on what time of the day it is and the weather. For example, if I go out at night, I of course will leave the drone behind. I'm not gonna be flying the drone around at night. I replace it with the Rockinon Samyang 35mm f1.4 that goes extremely well with the 85mm version. These are very fast lenses. These are perfect for night photography, even though, as I said, I'm still able to get very good results with the Tamron zoom lens. Now, when it's raining, I bring less stuff with me. I leave the drone behind as well. I'm not gonna fly it when it's raining. And I usually bring just the camera and the lens and maybe another lens, but everything is gonna be in the bag because it's raining. I don't want it to get wet, but if I see an image, I can still get it out very quick and take the photo. And by the way, that's one of the reasons why I have a slim bag. I didn't explain this. I'm pretty bad at this, I guess, but I prefer a slim bag to a backpack at least on daily walks, because of the response time, or the much faster response time to whatever it might be happening around me. I can get a lens or a camera out of this bag much faster than from a backpack. You know, usually the daily walks around town, they are not that challenging. They might be long in distance or time, but they are not that challenging as a hike. So it's okay if I have all the weight on one of my shoulders. I can always switch it up a little bit. And yeah, it's not a big deal for me. Then when I'm going on a walk just in town, in the city, I'm gonna be surrounded by buildings instead of, you know, going for a walk to the suburbs or to the countryside. Well, in that case, I will bring with me along with the 28-200 the wide angle lens. That is this one. This is the Tamron 17-28. And of course, it complements really well with the 28-200 because these two lenses give you a total focal range of 17-200. I used it last time when I went up to the castle that we have in town to take photos of the tower. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to fit all of that in the frame with just the 28mm lens. What else? I talk about the camera, lenses, drone, and the bag. When I'm going out for something that has nothing to do with photography whatsoever, like going to the grocery store or going out to eat in a restaurant, or I don't know, I mean, situations where it's inconvenient to have the full frame camera, I always bring this one with me, the compact camera. It's still the king of everyday photography because, as I said many times, you can fit it in your pocket and you can bring it with you everywhere. And as you know, I like to say that there is always a fly around you. No, there is always an image to be made, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing. And the specific gear that you might have with you doesn't matter as much as being there. That is the first step. We have to get out. We have to be there. If it's just with a compact camera like this one, we're going to be able to make amazing images, but we need to be out there. Now, if we have the chance to step it up to bigger and better lenses, then the images might get even better. But we need to start somewhere, and that somewhere is by getting out as often as you can. And if you can only do it with a compact camera or even your phone, do it that way first. I hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.